It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. Men are disturbed not by things but by the views which they take of them. Practice yourself for heaven's sake in little things, and thence proceed to greater. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. We should not moor a ship with 1 anchor or our life with 1 hope. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. Man is not worried about real problems so much as his imagined anxieties about real problems. God has entrusted me with myself. He who laughs at himself never runs out of things to laugh at. No man is free who is not a master of himself. Don't seek to have events happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and all will be well with you. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. If you want to be a writer, write. Nature hath given men 1 tongue but 2 ears, that we may hear from others twice as much as we speak. Difficulties show men what they are. In case of any difficulty, remember that God has pitted you against a rough antagonist that you may be a conqueror, and this cannot be without toil. It is not enough to possess a good mind, one must apply it. Only the educated are free. No evil propensity of the human heart is so powerful that it may not be subdued by discipline. Be careful to leave your sons well instructed rather than rich, for the hopes of the instructed are better than the wealth of the ignorant. He who exercises wisdom exercises the knowledge which is about God. Most of what passes for legitimate entertainment is inferior or foolish, and only caters to or exploits people's weaknesses. It is not he who reviles or strikes you who insults you, but your opinion that these things are insulting. It is difficulties that show what men are. We are not given complete control over things, but only over the use of our minds. It is better to die of hunger, having lived without grief and fear, than to live with a troubled spirit, amid abundance. A wise man is he who does not grieve for the thing which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. What upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about the things. He who follows reason in all things is both tranquil and active at the same time, and also cheerful and collected. It is impossible for a man to be freed from one thing if he is a slave to another. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. The essence of philosophy is that a man should so live that his happiness shall depend as little as possible on external things. To accuse others for one's own misfortunes is a sign of want of education. Don't be concerned with other people's impressions of you. They are dazzled and deluded by appearances. What concerns me is not the way things are, but rather the way people think things are. To enjoy the things we out and to hate the things we out has the greatest bearing on excellence of character. No thing great is created suddenly any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, "He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone." It is not easy to keep your spirit, but you must not be defeated. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. We are not given control over things, but over our attitudes towards them. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. No one is free who is a slave to their desires. Do not seek to bring things to pass in accordance with your wishes, but wish for them as they are, and you will find them. No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have, and to cheerfully put to good use what they do have. Appearances to the mind are of 4 kinds. Things either are what they appear to be, or they neither are, nor appear to be, or they are, and do not appear to be, or they are not, and yet appear to be. It is the nature of the wise to resist pleasures, but the foolish to be a slave to them. A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope. If you seek truth, you will not seek to gain a victory by every possible means, and when you have found truth, you need not fear being defeated. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. To accuse others for one's own misfortune is a sign of want of education. To accuse oneself shows that one's education has begun. To accuse neither oneself nor others shows that one's education is complete. If you want to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desire. It is not death or pain that is to be dreaded, but the fear of pain or death. It is not the act that disturbs people, but their judgments about the act. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Don't just say you have read books. Show that through them you have learned to think better, to be a more discriminating and reflective person. Books are the training weights of the mind. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. We should not give up, and we should not allow the problem to defeat us. God has entrusted me with myself. True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future. What upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about the things.